Welcome to Cedarcroft. Today we are making a really yummy Mexican taco casserole. And this recipe has been in my family for a very long time. Just like most of the recipes that I share with you, these are recipes that are tried and true. These are recipes that we make at least 4, 5, or more times per year. And when we have company, we definitely make this recipe. It is very loved. So let's get started. First things first, I'll show you how to do the meat. Welcome to Cedarcroft. I'm glad you're here. Today I am making a Mexican casserole, and we're going to call this a Mexican taco casserole. It is using Doritos, and it is such a good recipe. So you're going to start with 1 pound of ground beef, and it's nice and brown. And then we're going to add 2 garlic cloves, minced. And so I have a jar of minced garlic, and so I'm going to put that in and call that good. We're also going to add a 1/2 cup of chopped onion, which I've already done. It's in there. If you can't see it, I chopped it really fine. So we're going to let that garlic go just a tiny bit. If you don't have garlic or onion, you can just use a little bit of garlic powder or onion powder. The next ingredient, 1/4 cup of taco seasoning, or 1 packet of taco seasoning. Put this in. Here we go. Okay, call that good. And give this a stir around. Now I have, I cooked this meat, and now I have the stove on low. It's just a little bit above low. I don't want it to burn. I don't want my ingredients to burn, but in just a minute, when I put the other ingredients in, I'm going to turn it up just a little bit so that it can incorporate. All right, so I've got that stirred in. The next ingredient, we are going to add 1 can of diced tomatoes. And we're going to use the juice and all. There we go. And 1 4-ounce can of green chilies. And we're going to do the juice and all. This is going to give it such a nice flavor. Now, alternatively, if you wanted to, you could use salsa. So now I need to turn this up a little bit. Let me get that fire going a little. And you're going to see this come together so nicely. This is going to be so delicious. At this point as well, if your family likes hot food, you can add your favorite hot sauce. I've got some Texas Pete here. I'm going to do quite a few drops. My family likes things hot. So I'm just adding a little bit of heat there. If your family doesn't like hot, then leave that out. Okay, it's looking good. We want to incorporate all of those flavors together. All right, let's assemble our casserole. Once we have the meat done, then we assemble it. And I love this part. This is easy. Not only is it easy, but it's easy to make several casseroles at a time, and it freezes really well. Okay, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take a bag of Doritos, and this is a very large bag. I'm actually going to make 4 casseroles today, but I'm just going to show you the single version of it right now. Now the recipe calls for a single recipe. It calls for 1 7-ounce bag of cheese-flavored tortilla chips. And so I use the Doritos, and it says lightly crushed. So what I'm going to do is just go in there and just kind of break them up just a little bit. The next thing we're going to do is add the meat mixture to the baking dish. So on top of this, we are going to add our meat mixture. Of course, this one we just heated, or we just cooked rather. And so we're just going to, this is how I like to do it. I don't want to spread it. I just kind of want to drop it. Looks good. What do you think? Oh yeah. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is add 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese. The next thing we're going to do, we are going to dollop our sour cream, 1 cup of sour cream. And honestly, I don't measure this part. You can. We have been making this so many years. Actually, we've been making this in our family for about 40 years. So there's not a lot of measuring that goes on anymore. We just measure with our heart. And you know how that goes. Oh yeah. So once we get the dollops on, then we can just gently kind of give it a stir. Not a stir, but a spread. Yeah, like that. Sometimes it'll come up and we just spread it a little more. I don't like to pick it up because my aim is not to mix it. My aim is to have a layer of sour cream. And there we go. Looks good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add the other half of your 7-ounce bag of Doritos. You're going to add that to the top of your casserole. And I'm going to just kind of break these around a little bit. And what we're going to do is bake this at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And so this looks good to me. And let's pop this in the oven. And then after 30 minutes, we're going to put 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar cheese on the top, pop it back in the oven until that cheddar cheese melts and gets nice and toasty looking, not over brown, and then it will be time to eat it. So let me put this in the oven and we'll be right back. This is the Mexican taco casserole. I let it set for about 5 minutes after I took it out of the oven. And it is so delicious looking. Take a look. You have the meat, you have the cheeses, you have the sour cream here. So delicious. Are you ready? Let's do a taste test. That is delicious. This is so good. But I knew it would be, because this is a long time recipe that we make all the time for my family. We love it. I hope you'll give it a try and see how much your family will love it too. As always, thank you for joining me here on Cedar Craft. I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and giving me a thumbs up. Until next time, have a great day.